Thinking it's ours. It's a push. Like just doing some vibes, especially on like long distance. Like 80 to 100 kilometers a day.
Yeah, that's what gets me, you know?
Like an 80. Just under 2 hours, and then 60. It's 100 speed would be like another time.
Right now for some speeches. I'm really enjoying today. I'm getting to know a lot of Afrikaans. Apparently, Hakuna Matata is Swahili, not Afrikaans. So I just asked Jan during the break, when did he know Remona was his? Apparently he whispered in her ear one night when they were together on the couch here in Queensland. He said, Kanye e vai brekimak. And she looked at him and said, fuck off, brother. So the next figure is Ollie Daru. He's built like Ollie Daru. He has hair like Mufasa. His name is Angus Quinn, and he's the next speaker.
Yanni. Quite simply, I think we should all feel very privileged to be here for this celebration and the alignment of the Horn and Pinar families. As a group of people assembled here today for this wonderful celebration, we are representing Jan and Remona's Queensland family. I know it wouldn't be easy for Bertie and Angela at home in Albertina in the Western Cape. Their only daughter all the way over here in Brisbane, watching her grow and develop as a young woman, taking steps with major life events, not only in this marriage, but as a business owner facing her own challenges. I've watched your daughter grow personally in the short time that I've known her, so I can only imagine the developments you've seen as parents. You must be immensely proud of the young woman she has become. Jan has been a pillar of support. He might be wanting to franchise a veterinary practice all around Australia. But I know his presence has given Remona the confidence to take those great steps. The Pinar family, Andres and Saint-Marie from Kourou, I know you're proud of your son Jan. There aren't many farmers in this room, but I know Australian merino genetics are running wild in Kourou. Courtesy of this shrewd operator and genetics exporter, Jan. He's a bloody good oak, as they'd say in South Africa. I know you're equally proud of Remona being in his life and being so very helpful. Family is the cornerstone in every great relationship. It's the essence of what makes people who they are, and I think the similarities between both Jan and Remona really do reflect the strength of love they have for one another, their passion, and also their determination. Today is the unification of two farming families, so I'd like to propose a toast. We could raise our glasses to the Horn and Pinar families.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. To celebrate not only love of family, but to future prosperity.
Cheers, guys.
I've been also asked to make special mention for Remona's friends, Lorica and Marguerite. Jan's brother Dres, close mates Brian, Files, I hope you got a shirt on, mate. Miko, all in Sydney, and his union schoolmates, friends, William, Moranis, Paul, Joe, Heinrich, Kobe, Matt, Bazzy, Jola. Boys, we escaped the Bucks. I couldn't imagine what 2 days of biltong and brandy would do. Just know, for all of you people celebrating National Bride Day today, we too are going to have a lekker of a day here too.
Cheers.
I think we'll be swimming in brandy and coke come sundown. Love to you all. But in the words of Razzie Rasmus, let's just rip in.
Very good.
Did you watch his documentary?
Thanks, mate. That's beautiful. So the next speech is coming from interstate, from down Sydney, from a really close friend of Jan's. His name's Ryan, and he was, he's going through a tough period, but is able to write this speech for Jan. So he said, "Hello, everybody, and good morning to all of Jan and Remona's friends and family overseas. It'd be impossible to let Jan get married without giving everyone the unvarnished truth about Jan as we know him here in Australia, and how this is going to form the foundation of an amazing partnership, marriage, and life ahead for both him and Remona. Now, it's not all roses, this story. Certainly when Jan left his Veldskollen on the farm porch and departed for the land of those bloody Aussies, the Pinar family must have been worried that the man they knew might never return the same. And they were right on the money. Jan arrived in Sydney and instantly immersed himself in all the trappings of Aussie life. Farm boots were replaced by R.M. Williams. Good to go with jeans and chinos, you know. A splash of ball water in the morning, replaced with designer face creams. Probably need to give those away, mate. The Stellenbosch rugby shorts replaced with the latest blush pink Lululemon yoga pants. The lining gives me such support, and I have pockets for my cell phone. The one thing that never changed was his strong connection to South Africa through his phone. Certainly I've never known a man who has telephonic stamina quite like Jan. Maybe one day Dries, Jan's brother, can explain how two men can talk about sheep for 5 hours. Certainly is a mystery to all of us here, including Remona.
Oh yeah.
In fact, when we were living together in Sydney, Jan burst through the door with so much excitement that he had now found a Bluetooth phone that worked underwater. He was able to then even chat to people when he was in the shower. Apologies to Sam Marie. You must have thought Sydney had a lot of rain that year. Mystery solved. But it is these maverick tendencies that are all part of Jan's character that drew us all to him, and to Remona, I'm sure. And so I'd like to share with you, through the lens which I am, and I'm sure many others, see Jan as we've come to know him and love him here in Australia. What immediately struck me was that he was a guy who had come from a close-knit, predominantly Afrikaans community, be it farming, high school or university, and made a solo journey to Sydney. A city not well known for its friendliness, let's be honest, and despite this, his interests were learning more about you, about Sydney, about work, and the best ways to live life in his new home. never once dropping the classic line of South Africans, well, back home we do it this way. Just lost my mind, sorry mate. So my first impressions of Jan were his sincerity, his open-mindedness, his curiosity to learn more about you and his surroundings, opposed to talking about himself. This guy was a guy I could truly hang out with. Eventually we lived in separate houses, but across the street from one another. And over many braais and weeknight dinners, I learnt more about his journey from South Africa to Australia, which was now a few years in. Disappointed, I did not know more at an earlier stage, and to hear how he arrived in Australia and was dropped by work in a small hotel room in Campbelltown. For the South Africans, this would be like moving to Joburg and being left in Benoni to just get on with it. Again, without knowing anyone really, and moved between share houses, from roaming Bondi beaches by himself to having to wear earplugs with the wild Irish flatmats who partied all night. Jan gutted it out. He just got on with it, what he needed to do, and got through. Sean Jennings, Andrew Frey, and I were introduced to our broader introduced him to our broader friendship group. So now this guy has my respect. He was resourceful, he had courage and resilience without complaint. It would have been so easy to throw the towel in and go back home to live on the town or the constant allure of Cape Town. You have to tell me about that allure of Cape Town. I didn't get that. Tell me later. I'll just pause here, and whilst I'm probably preaching to the converted, say to Andres, Sam Marie, Christine and Dries that you should be incredibly proud of Jan's determination and toughness, which has formed the foundation of his career and relationship success since moving overseas. And to Remona, I'm incredibly excited that you have someone like this to rely on as a life partner. Jan is also a wheeling dealer, always talking investments and side hustles. This meant that we were either dragged into a harebrained scheme or that he had the propensity to fall into a few traps himself. Nothing hits home quite like stopping for coffee in the eastern suburbs of Sydney with a temperature-controlled canister of bull semen on the backseat of Jan's work BMW. Or the fact Jan went into partnership on a boat that never worked with another one of our maverick mates. Never has money gone up in flames faster. But that maverick mate introduced us. So on another trip, where 4 of us were heading to a cabin for the weekend. This is an exciting trip. The car could not have been fuller. You literally couldn't post a letter through the window. Jan comes round the corner, never in a rush of course, with this huge box. Now remember, we are going to a remote cabin.
Oh yeah.
But here he proclaimed that he had won this electric massage chair and it could come in handy somehow.
Oh yeah, story.
After a few brandy and cokes and some prolonged silence and contemplation, it came out that he was suckered in by a salesman in the middle of a mall, probably next to that kiosk where you get fake phone covers. I believe this massage chair is now providing the farm with much needed muscular relief a long way from Parramatta indeed. Jan does not rest on his laurels. He was always on the move and on the phone. This included 10,000 domestic flights per year, peddling building products. It was almost like the Afrikaans George Clooney in that movie Up in the Air. I'm certain he was on the first name basis with every airport barista across the country. However, after one fateful trip to Brisbane that I believe got extended for work reasons, Jan met Remona. He came back to Sydney trying to play it cool, but he was bursting with excitement. And if you look at Remona today, you can see why. You look incredible. This is not me. This is Ryan. You can see why this works so well, Remona. Remona is similarly an adventurous self-starter, coming out here on her own to pursue her veterinary studies and career, similarly to a fairly remote location and from a close family and community. Certainly, the compatibility jumped out to all of us. And when Jan got his job offer up in Brisbane, it was a fantastic no-brainer for him to join her in Queensland. They both found the needle in their respective haystacks, and together they have combined forces to launch an amazing veterinary wellness practice, buy a home, and adopt Riley the cat. I know that I speak for our entire friendship group here in Sydney when I say that we are all incredibly proud of what you have both achieved and built in such a small amount of time up here in Brisbane. And I feel like both Jan and Remona will continue to build on the lives of their friends and community as the years go on. So without further ado, I'd like to ask everyone to please stand and toast to two very special people. A perfect match and their future success supported by the common characteristics of loyalty, generosity, courage, adventure, and the odd maverick choice. To Jan and Remona,
Cheers.
our bride and groom. Thank you very much, Ryan. I just want to make just my own little chat to Remona. I think she's an amazing girl. I think Jan couldn't have done any better.
Keep going.
You're just amazing in everything you do. Funny, smart, and beautiful. She is courageous. And I love the flowers, and I want to mention the flowers. So back here we have the wheat that's from Remona's property back home. We have the eucalyptus leaves that are flowering, that follow the driveway up into the farm. We have the waratah for Queensland, Australia. And we have the proteus for the South Africa. They're just beautiful, just like you. To Remona and Jan.
Thank you. Cheers. All right. So, my turn. Remona, you can have my bells.
I'll keep it.
So before I officially start, I'd like to give you all a glimpse of our lives the last couple of weeks and months. During this time, Remona and I had the pleasure of organising 2 other fabulous weddings. I say this with the deepest sincerity. At first, Emily Moon, Plettenberg Bay, South Africa, April 2021. We had friends present from all over the globe. Families reunited, and the day was charged with youthfulness and laughter. The African spirit was vibrant and alive. Remona was beautifully decorated in Moroccan attire, and brandy cocktails were elegantly served by our distinguished guests from wide and afar. The celebration went on till the sun came up. The second celebration, Harvest, Fury Bar, Australia, 24 September 2021, which is today. And it's not today. Our Australian guests were on point, and the air was filled with peace, love and emotion. We missed the presence of our loved ones, but carried them in our thoughts throughout the day. Remona, yet again, was elegantly wrapped in fine silk, spun and weaved in the alleys of Milan. And I couldn't keep my eyes off her. We drank French rosé all day, and festivities carried on till late that night. So, at the first celebration, I didn't talk about the second and the third. At the second celebration, I did talk about the first. And today, I can talk about both. So what is the moral of the story? I could practice this speech twice before. Welcome to our wedding. One of the main formalities of the day is on behalf of my wife and I, we'd like to thank you all for coming to celebrate our special day. We're delighted to be sharing this with our most beautiful, nearest and dearest friends. In particular to the friends that cannot make it today and watching this ceremony online in awkward time zones. Thank you and welcome. Remona, my wife, your elegance today is stunning. You look absolutely beautiful, and I'm the luckiest man on the planet today. Let's give her applause. Taking you all back to the beginning. We met in the strangest of ways, and it was love at first sight. From that brief meeting at the Mokia Hotel in Brisbane till today. I think, Remona, you said 1397 days. In my speech I wrote 1395 days ago. We have since spoken every day. Some days you more than me. This was November 2017. 3 weeks later I went back to South Africa for Christmas holiday whilst you sadly had to stay home or stay in Australia to work. I spent more time talking to you on the phone that Ryan mentioned so well than spending time around the braai fire with family that haven't seen me for ages. I think they knew I was in love, however, I was dismissive of their comments. I rushed back. I actually changed my flights to spend a weekend with Remona in Sunshine Beach, Noosa. I still remember where we were sitting on the beach and I said, I will marry you one day. And you looked at me in awe and said, really? Well, here we are today. I'm glad you trusted me along the way.
You asked me what I know.
Yeah. That night we had a bottle of our favourite
I
wine.
was like, oh goodness.
And our love for each other grew. There we agreed on a surfing holiday to Sri Lanka that Easter. And that was just illustrating our mutual commitment to each other right from the start. By that time we only knew each other for like 2 months, and I think I may have seen Remona for maybe 5 days of my life. Our commitment was firm and our relationship formed and cemented forever. And that was very important for me. We spent a year of long distance in Brisbane and Sydney, which never felt like any effort. Remona, thank you for making our weekends in Gatton great. I'm glad we passed that now. I think Gatton is perhaps closer to the sun than Venus. As I said in my vows, and I would like to make a real point of this, Remona, the day I met you, I found hope, and I want you to carry this forever. Like that is for me the message of today. I sincerely mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for rationalizing everything for me. Thank you for making effort to unload stress and making me feel less anxious after a tough week at work or when life gets the better of me. You always manage to flawlessly get me back to the moment without making anything look like effort. They say the harder you work, the more successful you become. I've watched my wife work her backside off over the last 4 years to get where she is today. From the day she set foot in Australia, she was working 80-hour weeks at Gatton Hospital and still today pulling off 6-day weeks. I don't always know how you keep this all together, Remona. Remona runs a successful business in Brisbane, and for those that have seen her work would understand she gets treated like a celebrity. why she gets treated like a celebrity when she's out in Paddington. Remona, I know your business means a lot to you and the joy you bring to your clients. I could not be proud of you, and congratulations. Keep on going. The next one.
These are the train toss.
That's going.
I can see why you guys are friends. We're building an empire.
The next part was quite difficult for me to write. To Remona's parents, now Pa Bertie and Ma Ingela. We have not spoken a lot of time, and we have not spent a lot of time together. And I know that today is probably one of the toughest days that you will ever encounter for both of you. We can feel your presence here in spirit. Handing your daughter to me is an absolute privilege, and I promise that I will take good care of her until the day we are no longer here. Thank you for trusting me from the beginning. You always showed gratitude towards me, and I'm feeling honored to be part of the Horn family. Thank you for raising such an incredible person, Remona. She's very independent and raised with so much love and respect. I'm sure you are so proud of her today. To my parents, I owe my parents a lot of praise. Thank you for giving me the wings to fly. Today, to the day, marks 10 years of my life in Australia, and I wish you could be here to share that milestone and obviously our wedding together. Your thoughts are with me every single moment of today. Pa, thanks for teaching me everything I need to know about sheep. To always stock light and remain humble when times are good. Your quote to me as a young child that reads, "Save a match, buy a farm," will forever remain with me. I truly miss you here today. Ma, you're the kindest person I know. Thank you for teaching me to be generous and to give without expecting anything in return. Thank you for teaching me to turn the other cheek. And last but not least, thanks for teaching me about the power of forgiveness. You care for others without expecting anything in return, and that amazes me every time. And I will keep it with me till the end of days. I wish I could live half my life like the example you've set. You're a legend. Thank you. I miss you here today, but carry you in my heart. As a son and a daughter, all you want your parents to say is that they're proud of you. I'm sure both sets of parents can today say that they're proud of me and Remona. On other family that's not here today, my brother Dries, Christine, and your families, as well as Andries, Henry, and Bartu, and their families. We sincerely miss you all here today. What's life without good friends? Over the last couple of days, we had so many messages from all over the world, and I thank you all. I don't think I will be able to thank all of you, but I do sincerely thank you for the messages that just flowed. I could even see it on the chat today. To the boys that made my day special yesterday, Chris and Wade for setting it up. Ryan, you're a legend. You've been in my thoughts the last couple of weeks, and I truly miss you here today. You're my best friend, and I think we'll go a long way. Falls, you're a legend too. Thanks for pitching in last night. And thanks for making the times in Sydney really memorable. To all the other Sydney guys, thank you for taking me under your wing when I was just something there that no one knew.
It's really special, and it's so great to reflect back on that. To my friends back home, there are so many. I go back and I look at my schoolmates that I made. William, Marinas, Paul, Yuri, and then to university, Matthew, Kirby, Barsi, Heinrich, Chola, Skalk, and all the others. I think I may have missed a couple. But thank you very much for making my life special. And I'm also very sorry that you can't be here today. We will have a celebration one day. To everyone else, the Brisbane family, to you guys, you can all laugh a bit. It's not so serious. So the Brisbane family, if I have to single out a couple of guys, the two brothers, Adam and Angus, thanks for opening your homes to us. It means a lot to people that's not related to this place. We don't know the schools, we don't know the unis, we don't know the locals, we don't know the bakery, we don't know the bottle shop, we don't know where to live, we don't know so many things.
Ramona's a celebrity in Paris.
Subsequently. But I must say, thank you guys for opening your homes to us. That really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for handling the speeches today. It was beautiful. I appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll also go on the way. To all the others, the Brisbane crowd, Jerome, Raquel, Shano, Chuck and Lucy, thank you for coming and making our journey in Brisbane much more worth it and also more special. Then to Darian and Raymond. I'll get to Raymond later. Darian, thank you for the flowers. The flowers are so special. Adam touched on it. Remona and Darian woke up 5 a.m. yesterday morning to go and pick out the flowers at the Rockley flower market. And they chose it with such, I think with such purpose. The flowers are also, like all of them mean something. From the weed, I think Remona loves orchids, the waraka, some roses and brickyas, and obviously all the eucalyptus trees. So thank you for organising that, Darian. I really truly appreciate that. Wade, thanks for the video. I think that makes the wedding, makes it so much special. Steph, Michelle and Caitlin for the ends party and looking after Remona in the morning. And I don't know what you guys did, but she looks amazing. Danielle, the celebrant, she did a fantastic job. It was short notice for her. She did a real good job, and I'm looking forward to listening to that again once we have a little time. To the venue, Agnes, Georgie, Lily, Jack, Tyrone, for organising this and everyone present here today. Then to my workmates, Yuri and Raymond. It's always good to count on you guys, and very welcome here. Ramona's workmates, I guess, Dash and Matt. You guys, I think you guys spent a lot of those 80-hour days together. And thank you for taking Remona on this journey. So then, who have I missed? The wives, the spouses, Sarah, Lauren, and Katie. Yeah. Thank you for sharing the day with us. So the wedding is so small. Yuri and Isabel, sorry, I missed Isabel. The wedding is quite small, so I can actually say thank you to everyone for making it here today. The photographer, I forgot your name.
Emma. I didn't do it, I dealt with Emma.
Emma, thank you so much for coming. Remona never shared this with me, I have to blame it on someone. But thank you very much, you've done a tremendous job taking us through all the paces. So I'd like you all to charge your glasses for one last toast, and I close with this quote. Love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction. I love you, Remona.
Soft African.
Hakuna Matata. Nothing wrong with that saying. It's Afrikaans now. Yes.
Thank you.
Don't worry. Tyrannosaurus.
It's okay.
Brandon Coke.
Yeah.
Brandon Coke.
Brandon now, mate.
Did you like that?
That's why I was like, we gotta bring some regular sheep into the speech. I was like, I know it's vowels, but I was like, listen to that Brandy.
Lekker, 100%, thank you. Is it? Ja.
I never imagined myself delivering a speech in English. Chasing the sun. I never thought of delivering my wedding speech in English. Yeah. It would have been in Afrikaans. Ek sal lekker met jou gepraat en dan sê jy nie, wat fok ek vir jou sê.
Hakuna Matata.
Where is he right now?
She's still driving.
What's happening?
Yeah, I told Chris like he's very loud. Yeah.
This is Grenache.
Yeah, I like Grenache.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it's like a lot.
Grenache, we should buy it.
Mate, that Grenache, we should get an order of that.
Yeah, they sold out like that.
Well, they just got it through here.
Yeah, I don't know where they get it from, some agents.
You like that? I didn't have a shirt on last night. Yeah.
I'll get a shirt on.
Yeah.
You're dead, pal. Never got a shirt on. Shano, I know you know Charles. Have you ever seen him with a shirt on? Yeah, you wouldn't like that.
No.
Never wears a shirt. He's ripped. Never wears a shirt.
Shirt on when we went to dinner.
Dude,
You need one, like waving out.
Dude,
And I'm always like this.
Yeah, he's short. He's got a head like a foot. He's got like blood. He's automatically a
Reminded me of the Queen wedding. A lot of heartfelt speeches.
Oh man, heartfelt
Like emotions everywhere. Tears.
She bought a bindi spray.
I like a good emotion.
Feeding emotion.
It was,
Anyway, I know what happened.
No, more light-hearted. Yours was more light-hearted.
it was more, you're right. It wasn't as
Man, James.
James a lot. And Jumpy. We're just about weddings now.
40 square
It
meters.
reminded me of the Queen wedding. It was a lot of emotion.
400. Pay 3/4 of the bottle.
Your speech was good.
A third of the area of
Oh
our
mate, Razzie Erasmus.
Is there anyone better
Rip
than
in.
the Razzie Erasmus?
Rip it! Hit him hard! You got 48 hours. You got 48 hours. Another 48 hours you can rip it.
That'd be shit the last 2 weeks. So. Springboks haven't.
Oh mate, they lucked that last
I'll
take that to me.
If you as world champions get beat by the Wallabies, in saying that Quaid has been quite exceptional.
Mate, you win a Lions tour and your world champions and you get dusted by the Wallabies who get smoked twice. Well, I should put 50 on them this weekend.
Yeah,
Would you be going? I'll tell you, I'd love to see New Zealand paying 13 plus. Actually, that's the bet of the weekend. I'm not betting on the horses this weekend.
you were so far off, mate.
You could have backed the Wallabies 13 plus last
South Africa 13. Last Saturday, you guys South Africa 13 plus.
The Wallabies were $4 for a win. What were they $30? $4 for the win. Wallabies. I wasn't even far off.
We went from up here, like
Like, Wallabies 13 plus would have been brilliant.
I used to buy my lawn with like an amber.
Oh, that's right. You got that tip last weekend for Sierra Sue.
So good.
You get that?
Yeah, you got the worst one.
Sierra too.
Mate, tonight at the Valley, like, all the good races tonight at the Valley, you've seen that? I don't bet the Valley at night. I like that.
I hate the Valley.
Who's from Grenache?
You know, Donald McDonald's become a member of the Melbourne Racing Club.
Why?
He reckons 2 best days of racing are that a Friday night into the Cup. And I said, mate, it sounds good.
In all reality,
I've done it.
the only reason I ever want to go back to the Valley is if I'm in a really nice suite or my horse is running in a cosplay. The Valley sucks. It's shit house. Flemington is the where it's at. Even Caulfield's
I said, oh, it's probably like a third of the but really there's like left.
Mum and Dad's horse got named yesterday. Money Bear.
3/4 of the bottle.
Money Bear.
5 square meters or more.
I don't reckon your horse.
What's that?
Your horse name a little deep.
Short and sharp. I'll tell you right now, I want to know if it's short and sharp.
That's a great name actually. That is a great name for a horse. Short and sharp. It's like time and night. Short and sharp.
That's a farmer.
What's that?
The owner of Time and Night, who's got a glorious no, maybe 20 bars they want it.
Kate Waterhouse just bought a house, 17 bars. Balmoral? I don't know much about Balmoral.
All down there, mate.
Simo was telling me.
All down
Simo was
Byron
like,
Avenue.
it's a bit of a shit.
They were the couple of them. Their dad died. Tommy Smith died and gave her like 51 unencumbered titles of commercial real estate in Ramsey.
Because I got the good one set up.
Tommy Smith died, gave Gay, his only daughter, Gay Waterhouse, Tommy Smith was a big credit, 51 unencumbered titles.
I didn't know that.
Residential and commercial property all through Ramwick.
He would have bought for
In the end,
Tommy Smith's Gay's dad.
the trainer. He had more money than the Waterhouse.
So Kate just bought a house. Kate Waterhouse just bought a house, 17 million at Balmoral. She's married to Luke Ricketson. Luke doesn't have that much. He's also been rooting for Sydney. Like Luke's not. He's a great guy. I had lunch with him. Really great guy to have lunch with. He's a player.
He's old now.
Who has the time for fucking affairs?
No, I don't.
Can you imagine going out having an affair now? Where are you fitting that in? Where are you fitting it in? I just have time. This is irritating. Yeah.
Go back to